Hello, I'm Dean Delandro, and these videos are designed to help upgrade the way that you think, act, and execute. And what I want to talk about today is why I decided to leave the job that I truly loved, and what makes somebody make a decision that is going to impact their life in a major way. Because I, over the last 10 years, built a business that I truly fell in love with. And it started back when I was in investment banking and I was selling trading software to retail and institutional investors at the time. And at that point in my life, I had a deep desire to grow my wealth. And with that desire that was deep within me, it led me astray. So I started in this company and I was doing extremely well. We were selling trading software to people all around the world. And then what happened was our clients kept coming to me over and over again saying, we don't want to trade the money ourselves. What we want to do is we want to be able to give you the funds and then you go away and trade it for us because we don't have the time. So through that journey, we opened up a mutual fund, and in that mutual fund, we got the clients to deposit money into this mutual fund and we traded it on their behalf. And we made a considerable amount of money for our clients. But there was one pivotal moment that I remember very clearly. And that moment was sat in a skyrise office overlooking the city. And I asked myself, there has to be more to life. So what I did is I got a pen and I got a bit of paper and I wrote down, if I could do anything as a job, what would that be? And there were two things that came to my mind instantly. And one of them was I loved personal development. And the other thing was I loved traveling and exploring the world. So in that moment, I wrote down those two components. And then over the coming months, I hashed the idea out and I built a retreat business. And so then over the next 10 years, I left the corporate world and opened this retreat company. And I was hosting 4 retreats a year for business owners, entrepreneurs, and ambitious professionals. And I was taking them to the most amazing villas all across Europe, some in Southeast Asia, Bali, Thailand, hosted multiple retreats in Spain, Italy, France. And the premise of these retreats were to really upgrade the way that somebody acts and what they believe is possible. And through the process of a 5-day retreat, the transformations were truly, it was almost beyond belief at what people were able to achieve after attending one of these. And what I realized is when we break our usual day-to-day routine and we bring ourselves into a new environment, what happens is we are able to change in a very, very effortless way in comparison to when we're in our usual environment, around the same people, around the same habits, around the same rituals. It becomes harder to break those. So over 10 years, I helped hundreds of people, bringing them to all different locations around Europe. And it was the most rewarding experience that I've had, far more rewarding than when I was in investment banking, that's for sure. But here's the part. Why did I give that business up? So as I stand today, I have stopped doing the health and well-being retreats, and I've opted for a completely new business. And the reason I've done that is because the retreats were, to some degree, exclusive. They were a high price point. They were reliant on people being able to take 5 days off work and being able to get to these exotic locations around the world. And really and truly, in one retreat, I could only house 8 to 12 people. And so in a year, it would mean that the impact that I could make was 40, 50 people maximum. And when I came to the realization that what these people experience through a retreat environment, I want to be able to scale that. I want to be able to help as many people as I possibly can, rather than keeping it exclusive. Because in that sense, I was almost fulfilling my own desire, because I wanted to travel and I wanted to be with these people, going through their experiences with them. But now I've left that behind and I've started up something new. And this new project is deeply meaningful to me. And what I've done is all that 10 years of research in finding out how to optimize a entrepreneur, a business owner, a professional, and identify what their major key objective is in life, and then giving them a simple process towards achieving that, I went and created a course. It's less of a course, more of a system, because it's not just a body of information, it's action tasks and things that you can actually practically use in your day-to-day life. And the whole idea around that was to get maximum reach and be able to help as many people as I possibly can. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you today is because I want you to know that no matter where you are in your life, no matter what it is that you're doing, you always have the ability to change and to grow and to pivot your direction. And I could have stayed in investment banking for 15 years now, it would be, and I would have a really comfortable life. But I had to ask myself the question, what is it that I really want to do? And by asking myself that particular question, a retreat was born, and it opened up so many experiences to me, which were so beautiful. And I had so much impact on so many people's lives. But even doing something that I deeply loved and I could have happily done for the rest of my life, I still went back and asked myself the question, okay, well, what is it that I would do now with the level of understanding about the world as it is today? And I made the decision to change again. And I just want this to be a point where you can reflect on where you currently are. And if you got a pen and a bit of paper and you wrote down what is it that you would love to do? Like, what would you feel uplifted by creating every single day? What value would you love to add to the world? What would be your driving force? What would give you courage, momentum, excitement, and something that you could endure for the next 5 to 10 years? If you were to write that down on a bit of paper, would that be what you're currently doing? Or would it be something very different? And now changes don't happen in one click of the fingers. They happen over a period of time. But I want you to know that change is possible and the life that you desire is within reach. All you have to do is get some clarity, have a system that allows you to take action, and have confidence and the faith in yourself that you can achieve what it is that you set your mind on. So if you would like to know more about how a system works towards getting you to your ultimate key objective in life, then I suggest you follow this page for more, because over the coming weeks, I am going to be giving you tips, tools, frameworks as to what the best way to change your current experience into an experience that you would find more fulfilling and rewarding. And the way that we do this is by looking at the physical body, the mind, and our emotional structure. Because when we get those three key elements in harmony, then the outcome that we desire most is easy. And the only way that I can confidently say that is because I have helped hundreds of people completely change their reality through this body of thinking. And it might go against what you might have seen out there, what some of the other people are speaking about, because I don't really see much conversation around how the body, the mind, and the emotional structure all have to be in harmony in order to propel you to that objective. A lot of people talk about the mind and the mindset. A lot of people talk about actions and the things that you do with your body, and you have to show up and you have to do the 5 a.m.s and the cold showers. But nobody is explaining the real keys, which are those three parts of your being in harmony to allow you to reach that next level. So one thing I would say is just take a piece of paper as a thought experiment, write down what it is that you'd like to have as your major key objective in life. Imagine you couldn't fail, and imagine anything was possible. And once you've written that down, identify, is that where you currently are? Or is that something that you'd need to grow into? And stay tuned for more, and I'll help you create that into your experience.